Hey, so do you want to make more money? If you're wanting to make more money, let me tell you the key to most of it. There are a lot of different pieces to the puzzle, but one of the biggest keys that most people completely miss the target on is you're not solving problems. So there's a saying that goes, "The best problem solvers win," and it is so true. Life is not about avoiding problems. It's about who can solve the problems. Business is the exact same way. If you are running scared away from your problems, I guarantee you are missing the opportunity to scale your business. You're missing the opportunity to grow personally in your personal development. You are missing opportunities if you are running away from your problems. I don't know if it's just because I grew up in an extremely chaotic home environment, or if it's because I was the oldest child. But I have always been innately, I've always been a problem solver. I think a lot of it, like I said, was because I grew up in a very chaotic home and very unstable, and I had to learn how to solve problems in order to survive. So that was a big deal for me, is I had to do that. And then whenever I became a nurse back in the 1900s, um, I was an emergency room nurse for the first part of my nursing career. And as an emergency room nurse, you can imagine we had to learn how to solve problems on the fly. When people came in and they were going through an emergency, we had to be able to help solve that problem very quickly. We had to be able to you know, be able to be flexible with what we were doing, how we were doing it in order to meet that need. And so it instilled in me a value as a young adult on how to problem solve quickly. So there are a few key points I want to help you guys out with. How can I become a better problem solver? That's the question, and I want to help you out with that. So the number one key point is to understand that it's about perspective, and problems are opportunities in disguise. So instead of looking at it and saying, why is this happening to me? You could say, how can I learn from this? Or how can I help other people to avoid whatever it is that I'm going through right now? So, in the wise words of the wise Jack Sparrow, he said, "The problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem." That's pretty freaking wise right there. So again, the problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem. What do you think about that? So in business, every single problem is an opportunity to create a solution for customers and to monetize that solution for your customers. Some of the richest people in the world have simply done one thing: they've solved a problem, or they've taken advantage of a problem. So there's so many real estate investors who become billionaires during a situation where the economy is just crashed, because the price of real estate goes way down, and they invest during the down, and then they wait it out a little bit of time. It's not a sexy business model being a real estate investor. They usually have to put some blood, sweat, and tears and grit into it and have some patience with it. But guess what? 5, 10 years, now they double, triple, quadruple their investment on it because they utilized the problem. So let me ask you this question before I get into key point number 2 is, I would love for you to comment down below if you're watching live on TikTok, and if you're watching the recording within my group coaching program, I want you to comment on in the community there. Ask yourself this question right now. What is, all right, 2 questions. What is the biggest problem myself and my friends are facing right now? And number 2, how can I solve that? So an example would be, like, let's say that the biggest problem you see yourself facing right now is just the cost of groceries. Like, groceries are just too expensive, which I don't think groceries are too expensive. I think it's relative to the amount of income that you're making, but that's my mindset. But let's just say right now you think that groceries are just way too expensive. Okay. How can you help solve that problem? You could literally do something like the viral TikTok lady. She has created an entire brand, and she makes tons of money off sharing recipes and ideas for people how to make meals from it's called Dollar Tree meals. Like, she's literally created an entire brand, and she gets sponsorships. She makes tons of money off of her views because she solved a problem on how to save money on groceries. There are lots of ideas that you could show people how to coupon. You could show people how to use rebate apps. You could share recipes on how to turn 1 pound of ground beef into 17 different meals. And that will go viral, and you could get creator fund money on it. Guys, you can make money in a downturned economy. You absolutely can if you learn how to solve problems. Like, one of the problems that I solve in my business is I help people make money from home. And it's not at this day and age, it's not just because people are like, oh, I just want to work from home. I want to quit my job. No, people are needing some work from home income in order to put food on the table, in order to pay for their kids' medications. They're needing extra income. They're needing an extra $200, $300, $400, $500 a month in order to just keep food on the table. And I can help people with that. I have multiple ways I have showed you, I have reviews on my YouTube channel, on here on TikTok. I have reviews on showing you how to make money from home. I'm solving a problem. And that's making I help, the more people I help, the more money I make. Okay, so that was a rabbit trail. So key point number 1 is problems are just opportunities in disguise. Key point number 2 is speed matters. Success loves speed. Stop waiting for the perfect opportunity. Stop waiting for the perfect time, and just get busy doing what you need to do in order to help more people. Stop it. Stop waiting for things to be perfect. Pritchett, one of my very favorite authors. If you have not read this book, you need to read it. It's called U Squared. It's one of my favorite books. It's literally this big. You can read it in about an hour. It will literally change your life. It will change the way you think. It will help you. Like, if you change your life, read this book. But he says, winners always stay ahead of problems. They address them with speed and decisiveness, not divisiveness. Okay. So when problems sit, they get bigger, they fester. A slower response turns a flat tire into a totaled car. If you can fix it fast, you will not only survive, but you will thrive. So speed matters. So get after it. Quit procrastinating and freaking get after it. Key point number 3 is solving people's problems builds trust and authority. Again, that's part of my brand. It's part of the reason people know, like, and trust me, is because I am a problem solver. When I see people struggling in an area, I say, how can I help them? What can I learn? What skill can I develop? What product can I show them? What service can I tell them about? How can I help you? I'm not one of those people, whenever I see a post on Facebook and people are like, I need prayer. Can y'all pray for me? Because, I'm not going to be able to, do XYZ. I'm not going to be able to pay for my kids' daycare. I'm not even one of those people who just says, I'll be praying for you. No, I reach out to them and figure out how I can actually physically help them. It's not in my nature to be I'm going to just pray for you. I'm going to release it to the Lord and no, I'm going to do something. When somebody has a baby, I don't just say, congratulations. I take them food. I solve problems. I do. So let me ask you this question. Are you currently solving problems in your life with people? So y'all know I love me some Jesus. Jesus is everything. He helps me with every single part of my life. He helps me solve problems. So ask God for help. That's my last tip. Ask God for help. In James 1:5, it says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. If you don't know how to help people, ask God for, Lord, what problems can I solve? Lord, how do I help If your friends are struggling financially, Lord, how can I help my friends struggle? How can I help them not to struggle? Ask him, and he will give you ideas. He will give you favor. He will give you divine appointments with people. In Nehemiah faced big opposition whenever he was needing to rebuild the wall. He had reduction of shortages of resources. He had sabotage. People were coming up against him. But instead of panicking, what he did is he went to the Lord in prayer. And then once he heard from the Lord, what he did was he rallied his team, and he found creative ways to keep building. He solved one problem at a time, and the wall was completed. You don't need all the answers at once, but you do need to take action and do what you can a little bit at a time until you can solve the problem. Okay? So here are some practical application tips. Again, if you're enjoying this training, you can get a free 7-day trial to my Boring Breakthrough training group. I will post the link. If you're on TikTok, the link is over in my bio. If you're on YouTube watching this training, I do share some of my trainings on YouTube publicly, but most of my trainings are not open to the public. But you can get a free 7-day trial, and that link will be in the description if you're watching on YouTube as well. So practical application tips are to adopt a solver's mindset. It said, instead of asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Asking yourself, what can I learn from this, and what is the best way for me to move forward with it? Break problems down. Big issues may seem impossible, but when you chunk them into smaller, actionable steps, you can start making progress. Utilize your team's strength. So don't try to solve everything yourself. Delegate to those with skills who can match the problem, or reach out to people who are smarter than you and who are better than you, who are faster than you, and who can glean some wisdom to you. So ask for help, guys. Act quickly but wisely. Make decisions swiftly but not recklessly. Get enough information to move, and then act. Stop this ready, aim, ready, aim, ready, aim, ready, aim, ready, aim, ready, aim stuff. At some point, you need to fire. Ready, aim, fire. Ready, aim, fire. If you haven't guessed it yet, one of the key attributes, or one of the things that the Lord has blessed me with, is I am one of those face first through the glass, get the stitches later kind of person. I do not care if I fail. I do not care if people judge me. I do not care how many tries it takes me to get to it. When I know that I need to do something, and I just get after it. And it has brought me lots of money, because I don't care. You have to get to the point where you don't care. You divorce yourself from the outcome. You just look at the activity and you say, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to figure it out. I don't care how many tries it takes, but I'm going to get this done. And you keep your eye on the prize, but you don't worry about what's going on to get there. Okay. And then stay prayerful. I love the saying, pray attention. Instead of pay attention, pray attention. A bad attitude can make a small problem into a gigantic problem. Keep your faith strong. Keep your perspective sharp. Keep your eye on the prize. Stay in the word, and just get after it. So here's your challenge for the week. Take a problem that you have been avoiding and get after it. Go tackle it today. No excuses, no procrastination. Just take some action. Let me know how it goes. I hope this was helpful. I hope it encouraged you. That's all I got for today.